Johnny, you on the
Well,
air?
let's get right into it. DayTraderRockStar here, and a post-election video, post-election analysis, and 4 best longs going into next few weeks here. So that's kind of focusing. But again, some comments about the election, and actually talking about some of the trading. Big surprise. I would say most people expecting that not to happen the way it did. I'm not going to take full credit that I predicted it would happen this way. I just definitely felt there is a movement going on, and I think there's a reason why this is happening, and it's just the time and place is perfect. People are seeing it, seeing these things happen on a grand scale, these movements and stuff, and it's been shown even with the Bernie Sanders campaign how they think this guy can actually challenge for the Democratic candidacy. And he was basically ground floor grassroots type of thing. That's the future. This is the disruptor. This is Donald Trump, the first person to break through that barrier. And we don't know if it's going to be a success yet. But I think you're hearing that there's some good things that could come from us. The only reason I really was voting for him and predicting he was going to win because. We hear, people start to realize, hey, for the last 8 years, it's hard to, and it's hard to say that nothing wasn't good. I don't find it to be terrible in the last 8 years. It was fine. There was no hardships or anything. But could it be better? Could it be better? And I think a lot of people want to try that, or else they're figuring it's not going to get any better because it basically, Clinton was coming in and just carrying on the legacy of Obama. Nothing was going to change in the health care and other things, basically just a carryover. So I understand why people voted this way. I think it's a good idea. I think the markets are actually taking expecting a big sell-off. Well, we had that sell-off. You were with us on Tuesday night. We broadcast till about 1:30. I want to try to go all the way back here, if I could even find that. Yeah, here was, this was on Tuesday evening. We're down to 2030. 2030. It's pretty crazy. And over 100 points lower. Just overnight, and the Dow was like 900 points down, and we moved over 1,000, maybe even over 1,300 points, I think, on the bounce from 12 o'clock basically. 12 o'clock it was the bewitching hour. They had limit down, and it was just 12 o'clock, and it was weird. Everything just lined up like that, and that's how it rolled. We wake up in the morning, the markets are not. That, if you went to bed and you said, oh my God, limit down, I'm going to bed, it's going to be a disaster tomorrow. You wake up and you're like, someone says 20, I see you look at the screen, I said 2,100, I'm rubbing my eyes. I said 2,100. I think, wasn't it closer? Maybe I'm wrong. I had to go look at it. I said, wait a second, whoa. I said, so much for those puts. I was counting my cash last night. I was down counting, I had 6 puts, 208 puts, and I was, I took those in preparation for a move down after a Trump victory. I actually did think he had a good chance of winning. But anyway, it didn't last long. It actually didn't last overnight, and and I'm actually still holding them. But we did get a nice push on a lot of stocks, which was good. So we ended up taking some Fastenal off, and these are some of the stocks we're going to focus on later. But just a kind of an analysis of the election. Things are looking pretty good. I mean, the market rallied. There's a lot of commentary coming out of some people saying this actually might be good for our economy, especially with the tax cuts and stuff. And I know people are like, well, who's going to pay for this? Who's going to do that? And you know what? We got to try something. We're going to see how the market reacts. The market is the true guide here. If it's moving up, then something's going on good. So the next couple of days is going to be very choppy, but do we get a pullback? I actually added to a little hedge site, seeing if maybe we do retrace some of this, but it does look stronger. The recent highs, take a look at the candles now, and take a look, just pretend we're going back on a technical look at the markets. SPX here. Look at this. It was actually a perfect buy signal. We had a triple trend line channel line bounce with an oversold stochastics. It's just a perfect, but it was a news event. But the news event came in a perfect zone. And that was the Wiener, it was the FBI, and then it was the follow-through, and then it was Election Day. And Election Day, of course, is everyone expecting to drop, and looking at it now. So we're within a day's journey here, probably up to the highs here. Dow, I believe, did tagged closing highs. I think they did. They got through that, right? Dow made all-time highs. If not, it was just a couple points away. I think they did. And, things are looking pretty strong now. And we're going to look at some stocks that we had some major, good charts in here. And not, excuse me, seeing how this potentially, can grab hold here and people start reading into this election and maybe seeing some of the positives instead of seeing all the negatives. You might actually see that market here react in a very positive, strong way. We have the best 6 months of the year just started. We have the 100 days in office by the president. It's typically a bullish time. We have the holiday season, we'll call it Santa Claus rally, coming up here in late December. So there's a lot of things here that we could push up into. We're right next to the highs, all-time highs, yet we've just gone through the biggest, dividing process ever, it seems like. And yet the market is hanging in here. So something's going right. My my scenario, I would like to see this, to get some profits on this, a little pullback into this rip here. I'm not even going to say we're going to try to retest, the scene of the crime, which we always talk about, a fast reaction move. That fast reaction move was down here at 2030. So you wonder if that eventually will come back into play. That's a move. I would like to get a pullback. Sure, I would. For my puts, just to take it off. But the market seems very strong, and when you're dealing with the tradeometer and Rambot, also be careful. When the strong trending market, you're going to get more overbought levels. You should be taking your oversold levels in the trending market, or whatever the trend is going with. You should be taking the position with the trend. So I wanted to go over some stocks also. Now, I did take some of my Fastenal off today. I have 50 shares left. And I love this pattern back here. It was a weekly divergence. We were timing this to be a weekly divergence. And, it's again, big news here. Trump, infrastructure rebuilding. This is a major company that would play a part in parts and stuff. So this is very bullish for a Trump victory. And, is this the beginning of a decent move? Remember, this is the weekly chart. Weekly has a nice divergence. We have a nice pullback. We've been waiting for something like this. This is actually probably a very good signal to go long here. Now, there's a big, are we going to pull back in here? Is it going to be choppy? Is there any news coming out here that's going to affect the markets? Right now I see on my news feed here, thousands gather to protest Trump at Union Square in New York City. And there is a lot of people there. I'm bringing that video over there. And you know what? That's in New York City. And these are all people. It's not a group, Black Lives Matter, or anything like that. It's just a group. People are upset with the process, or I guess with Trump. And that's one thing I could understand. I actually understand the anger in them, but a lot of negativity out there. People on TV saying, "Oh, I'm afraid to send my kid to school and stuff." I think it's a little crazy. These people are still like, come on, be a little smarter than that. This is a process. This passing right now, Michigan here, too close to call. Special report, this crossing the wire, 96% in. Come on. What's going on there? Someone fall asleep on the job? It's already done. So getting back here to the Fastenal, definitely see some more upside here. Is there all-time highs up here at 53? That would give us a 10-point move. Yeah, that's no reason not to believe that. It's been just a gradual sideways thing, and maybe we need a catalyst there. We need that money to hit the infrastructure and more contracts and construction and stuff. And we need that, we need more revenue. So maybe this is the turn. This is it. Big tech got hit today, but IBM I do feel is one of those setups will recover fast and continue. It actually did recover today and ended closing up a little bit higher. Now this is the weekly chart, remember. So we have a big weekly setup here, and if the market starts to go up, I'm sure a lot of the ships here in the sea are going to rise with it. It wasn't a breakout today, but still looks really good. So I am IBM. Like this one a lot also. That's my second one. Now we took Panera off on a nice trade. Look at the pop today in Panera. It's so hard to chase it up here. Even though a lot of these stocks are now getting very strong buy signals. Nice crossover. Nike check mark on the stochastics. Huge candle. Bigger volume. Not tremendous volume, but big volume. And the overall pattern. But again, it's already, we'd like to thread that needle down here, see a signal or something. This moved fast. Yeah, if you happen to be in it, great. If you're still in it, I think it goes higher. But it's going to be tough over the next couple of days to see how this market reacts to the. If we're going to, tonight especially. Tonight's actually going to be pretty good for trading. You're probably going to get some decent. Yet last night it was crazy, 10-point moves in a matter of minutes. This will probably cut that in half, but we'll definitely see some action overnight. Look at Darden Restaurant. That popped too. The restaurant stocks. People are gonna, feel safe going out to eat again. Make America Fat Again is my slogan for these companies. Darden Restaurants, huge pop here. Shake Shack after hours, popping on earnings. This was a boring stock to be in. But if you're in it now, again, you have a nice pop. And is this the beginning? Is this a big beginning of a bigger move? This is actually moved right up to all-time highs. It looks like. Yeah. It's an impressive chart there. It's not, it's not running away, but very strong on the weekly, daily here, big pop. Here's a bonus one. I'm not looking at this one as a long or a short, but I do, I'm curious to see what happens. A lot of the Mexican-based stocks here are selling off, and Budweiser, which is a InBev now, would fall into that category. And there was some pressure in it, a gap down, and it kind of chopped around sideways. But it also is, freaking Budweiser. We're gonna. This almost looks like a divergence to me, and I think this is one of the few ones that are going to be moving back up. I don't know what's that Cemex one. The Cemex. Is it CX? Cemex, yeah. See, that gap down also will pop back up. I think that's a Mexican company too, if I'm not wrong there. But yeah, so getting back to that Budweiser, I think that could be a trade, a short-term swing trade back up the upside. I think this kind of recovers and moves higher, puts in this divergence. It looks pretty good. Hourly here is actually pulling back a little. Okay. All right, looking at the ISRG here, Intuitive Surgical, and this one again because of the election here. Some of these health, what do we call them? Well, this one, a medical device maker, getting hit. There was, drugs higher. I think hospitals and equipment like this lower. But this is interesting. We did have the earnings, and this one broke down on the earnings, pulled back, then got a bounce, and then this is where we end up going down here. Now, we're not going to know if this is a divergence or not, and how this, I don't really know how the presidency is going to affect this stock, if it is, and how it is going to be. But keep an eye on it. I think there's probably a buying opportunity here, or maybe there's a little trend line underneath us. But something I'll be watching. I have 15 shares of this, and yeah, it was a little bit down today. Procter & Gamble has a little divergence here on that gap down and that turn back up. I mean, just a slight intraday from this area on. I wonder if it shows up on the 60 with the gap down here. Can't really see it too well, but the reason I showed you that one because I have on my list is Colgate also, and that shows us that kind of a double bottom, but actually a true divergence as we spike down here and then close a little bit higher. We definitely got that turn back up. So, Colgate. Let's take a look at General Mills. Yeah, a lot of these are starting to look pretty good down here. They're not the most exciting stocks, but they are starting to move back up a little. So I did have that PG here. I just want to know why I had that little divergence there in that. So we also have to just keep an eye out. And again, I'll put this out there because I keep on seeing some news items cross my wire here that there is now protests in New York City at Union Square Park. And then there was protests in Texas. We might have some other protests happening overnight. And we'll have to see if anything comes of that. The Tractor Supply Company, the other one that I have my eye on. Big outside day today. Again, market gapping down and these things reversing here pretty good. This looks great. Again, could this be the pivot area? This one's pulled back quite a bit on the daily. It's slowly dropped, and then a pivot area. It's 67 and change. It looks good. It looks good. I mean, it looks like it's starting to get embedded here. And again, the same thing here is going to apply. Is there a change here to be had in the markets? Will the market start pricing in some maybe these initiatives of building back America and somebody, even the Tractor Supply Company that probably has a little upside here. It looks pretty good. I have no position in it yet, but I am looking at it. Just let me turn this on here. How do I get rid of the reaction here? I have to get rid of the. But these are the protests that are happening. This is a live video right now in New York City here. Protests going on. How do you get rid of these things, though?
Thousands and thousands and thousands. As far as a sea of people.
A quote checkmate that could eliminate any path for Republican victory. Somehow in the ballot box that failed to materialize.
So thousands of people protesting now, New York City.
And they're going to be alone with their partisanship, and they're going to vote their partisanship. At the same time, President Obama was legalizing the purchase of Cuban rum and cigars. Donald Trump was meeting with veterans of the failed Bay of Pigs.
What's Trump's view on Cuba? I wonder if that's going to shut Cuba down again. Anyway, while I'm following some of these protests going on here, let's see if this one's 12. It just ended, but we'll see what they have to say on this.
Get the everyday man involved. John Barleycorn.
So it looks peaceful. Other people catching up on their Facebook, tweeting it. Is that Brian? Is that Brian C? That's my name. This guy's just from Florida. Has no idea where he's going. Well, I don't know how this turns out, but it'll be interesting to see if it has any effect on the markets. That's what we're here for. There's thousands of people, though. Hey, Viljar. I'm just working on a video here. I'm about to send it out. I just recorded that, so just kind of updating you on some stuff. I'll put this on up. I want to mute this one more time and then finish up on this video and send it out, and then I'll come back on. All right, so I'm just going to finish up. We were talking about Tractor Supply Company, and again, looks good. Definitely some of these here. Typically, these outside days, good volume days, reversal end up being reversal days, and a mark on the chart, which later you look back at, looking at a good position if you started at that point. Something about it, though, this is a major news story, and it's not yet completed here. Just the first day. Kimberly Clark should be falls into that category with the Procter & Gamble and stuff. It looks like a decent divergence here also. I just want to point that out. Nice double bottom divergence. Good volume. Here we have Home Depot, and just looking at the recent pullbacks and stuff, it's a nice pullback. The big candle with the gap down and reversal, everything looks good. This is the type of candle we like. Even though you can see here, there's one thing we have. The momentum is already taken off. We're almost getting up there. Again, still seeing lots of news out there on the rallies here, or anti-Trump protest rallies going on right now. But we'll see what happens on the futures. But some of these stocks here have got to be looked at. Home Depot looks decent. I hate the big gap ups. I hate trading around this type of news. We sometimes get the head fakes. This is a big event, and needs a couple days to sink in here. But these are the ones that we're going to be that will be in focus on the site tomorrow and the next day. Here's the other one, MasterCard. Had a great trade in this. Took it off before the election, but we had a nice gain on it. Again, I would be back in this. This is a very strong stock. If you expect the market going up, this one definitely going up with it. And the financials. I didn't mention Goldman Sachs, but big pop in Goldman Sachs. Recent highs up here, 218 and change. I mean, we could go right down the line of some of those Morgan Stanley. Big pops. These are really very strong. Next thing up there down the line is going to be interest rate decision. It's been laid out there for you. The map is really written. I wouldn't expect too much as a surprise to the market. It'd be interesting to know when it happens and how this new administration handles this going forward, and what comments come out of the White House, if they even do. It's kind of becomes a taboo. It used to be called kind of a taboo here. Government and Fed here. Fed messing with the markets. But that's about it right now. So again, MasterCard, Fastenal. Fastenal still is on my top of my list. Even though we had the huge pop today, still riding some of it. MasterCard would probably come second. MA, just a quality name. I am holding some Twitter, TWTR. Nice pop today. I'd love to get a follow through. Probably would get out of it if it popped any further up towards $20. Fastenal. So many have already good pops. Panera had a good pop. Eyeballing for a pullback. If we get some type of pullback in that, I'd be a little bit more interested in it. All right, I want to go back monitoring these protests going on, see where they go. If any news comes out, I'll definitely email you. And until then, we'll see you in the markets tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed this video, and a little commentary going into Thursday. Have a great evening, and see you in the morning. DayTradingRadio.com if you happen to catch this, and you're not a member.